obviously the big question with Quentin going down is what does that kind of do to the running back room, and how do you feel about depth wise, and what's kind of going from 4 to 3 right now? Where are you kind of sitting at?
Right. Obviously, unfortunate we had that injury. Had really, really high expectations, and honestly, for just the competitor that Quentin is, and the player, and just how much he's developed, both on but really off the field as a person. So it's just unfortunate that way. Um, the good thing is we're not gonna miss a beat. We have two guys that when they were 18 years old, they had 35 touches for 238 yards versus a top 35 defense in Arkansas. And so we're not going to bat an eye. No one's feeling sorry for us. We definitely don't feel sorry for ourselves. I hate it for Q. And then also it's a great opportunity for Adam Hill and Mike Henderson to show us what they can do. Obviously, we brought Mike over, a guy who had 1,300 yards in 6A big-time high school football here. And I'm really excited to have him in the room.
With Henderson coming over as a running back now, what does his kind of skill set look at right now?
I've only got to work with him one day, honestly. I buzzed his high school film a few times. We kind of knew this was coming at some point. We got thin in some other areas, and so we kept him on the defensive side of the ball. But we were always thinking about cross-training him. That was early in June. We talked about it. So I don't want to speak on it too soon because I don't want to make a blank statement, but I'm really excited with just one, how he's come in and approached it and being a pro, and he's competitive and kind of fits the room. And, Cam and Jacobe are going to lead that room, and Adam, obviously, but Cam and Jacobe, they can bring the best out of people.
I know you said you're probably going to be, a committee approach type of thing, but who do you see taking the first snap next Saturday at running back?
I can't say that yet because I don't know. My plan is to have for 12 plus weeks. Honestly, I want those guys to earn it each week. I want to ride the hot hand when we can. There's definitely some things that Jacobe does better than Cam, and Cam does better than Jacobe. But we're still going to be by committee. It's just going to be a little bit of a duo right now. And honestly, there's not two guys in the program that I'd rather have our back than Cam and Jacobe.
We heard that Jacobe could do a lot on special teams with Joyner's injury. Does that kind of limit what he can do, given that he's probably going to carry the ball a little bit more than maybe you had planned?
That might be more of a Coach Perry question. But, yes, I think that'll probably limit him a little bit on teams, both Cam as well. Cam was doing a phenomenal job for us on teams. But it also just gives opportunity to put the ball in other people's hands. We went and our receiver room is really, really impressive, and they can do a lot of things when the ball's in their hand.
Obviously, with Adam Hill moving up, I'm curious what you feel like his specialty is, where you see his snap count at, and what his offseason has looked like in preparation, and then what it looks like now at practice with him being the third running back.
I think these next couple weeks are really going to tell us what his long term is snap count wise. I've been really impressed with he's a big, powerful back. He's an old school tough guy, West Texas guy. I really like. Yesterday he was running with the twos for the first time ever in spring, fall camp, and he had his best blitz pickup day. Eyes were in the right spot, hit his aiming points. I was really, really impressed with that. So I think he's going to have to earn that role and work into before I can put an exact number on his snap counts.
And when did Henderson move over into your room? Because he was recruited as a DB. At what point in the offseason did he move over into your room? How much cross-training was there over the offseason? And then is he still even working with the DBs?
Tuesday. Yeah, so there was a thought, but we got thin in some other areas, and so it kept him there, and we felt comfortable, and then we had the unfortunate news, and so it was like, hey, let's go.
What was his response, and then obviously what have you seen from him too?
He's really excited. I think he's really embraced it. He's taken great notes. I've been really impressed with just his knowledge and just kind of how the traction he's gained. I think our offense is a little bit easier for a running back, but he's still, like, yesterday was the first time he ever took a carry since December, or I guess November, in 24. So I'm excited. He's a competitor. He's a football guy, and those guys always win.
Is there anybody else that's in the room right now? Even scout team wise, is there any other positions you're pulling from right now to just have some guys on reserve?
No, sir. Not right now. I'm working to see if Coach Fitch will give me some of those D linemen. Maybe Skyler run the ball a little bit.
Jacobe, let's say he gets, 15, 20 carries a game. He's going to be asked, obviously, to carry a big load.
Mm-hmm.
How confident are you in him physically, being a guy listed at 185?
Mm-hmm.
How confident are you just for him to handle the pounding?
Absolutely, yeah. That's going to be a big question. But I also believe Jacoby's the toughest kid in the team. I really do. I think Barron's a tough kid too. But he's an East Texas guy. He's 185 pounds, like he said. But golly, you can ask some of our coaches the way he plays ball. Like there's just something about him when he's on the field. There's an energy. There's an enthusiasm. There's an excitement. Like, don't tell him he's too small or he'll hit you right in the mouth. But and you can see it. He put that on tape last year. So this isn't just me seeing spring and fall camp. Like, he did that versus big-time opponents. If you look at some of the things he did with the ball in his hand, but also the way he played without the ball in his hands. He had a couple of big-time blocks for Taj.
Given that the numbers are a little bit thin, and that Mac's offense has been pretty balanced, do you think it tilts more toward passing now, just to kind of keep those guys from having to take as much of a pounding?
Yes, sir. So, we're just looking at the numbers. Like last year, Coach Leftwich averaged 76 plays a game. Taj Brooks last year averaged 66 plays a game. If you tell me that Cam Dickey and Jacoby Williams can't play with their hair on fire 38 plays a game, then we probably got the wrong two guys, and I know they will. And so, you look at that, it's going to be a war of attrition. They got to take ownership of how we recover and how we're at our body weights each week. But, the hat's on their head, and, that's kind of our program. You look at that. So I'm excited. I really am. It's unfortunate for Quentin, but, man, I'm so fired up for those two kids.
Being a young coach, and obviously your room was all sophomores just before this injury happened, but that does take away about 13 games of experience from Q. Who do you lean on? How much are you in that room kind of preaching, let's all work together, and how much are you asking Dickey and Jacoby to kind of step up in terms of leadership?
Right. That's an awesome question. With Jacoby was the leader of the running back room. He was just the most outspoken. Yeah, he's a sophomore, but I think just his work and just kind of the bright personality he has in the building. But then also, like, I've seen something out of Cam. I'm going to be honest. Like, there might not be a guy that's had a better camp on offense than number 8. Like, he has just come to work, and you've seen a guy that has kind of worked himself all the way from spring ball to the summer to fall to put himself in position to have a lot of success this year. Man, I'm so impressed with how he works. And both those guys, they're just kind of what we believe in, man. Like, they're going to play with Red Raider speed and violence. They're going to show courage. They're going to know and do their job, and they're going to put this team first.
All right. You want to talk one more? I guess just with Joyner out now and when the news broke out, did you have a specific message to your guys when the news broke out, and just kind of like what have you told them?
I think Coach Cochran breaks it down on this, but we talk about PTF, and that's just protect the family. That goes all the way back to 2003 at Cedar Hill, and so we had a family member unfortunately go down. So when you see those guys carry the ball, they're going to be carrying it for themselves, this team, but also for number 0.
All right, cool. Thanks.
All righty, thank y'all.